Greetings, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, just having some technical difficulties. My apologies to the viewership, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Just I don't know. I know I'm on a little late, but hey, it's whatever. I mean, we all stay in different parts of the country now, don't we? Uh, so welcome to another Monday here on BMBBH. Just look at the message scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Be mindful of all of that information right there. This is for mature audiences and this is for entertainment purposes only, which means that you can choose to take this with a grain of salt or take something from this broadcast. I just want you to know that those options are available. And if you haven't at this point, and it's maybe your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button on the way in, and or you can hit the dislike button. I really hate they hit the dislikes because I really don't care. I actually like seeing dislikes, and just it just lets me know what place I am in with the viewership, and whether I need to go harder on whatever they dislike me for. Most people do that. Um, to invoke emotion or to invoke a reaction of sorts. That keeps things pretty interesting around here. But without wasting any more time, let's get to the subject matter at hand. The topic is: are they right about black men and why you shouldn't care? Um, 'Cause I don't know. It seems at this point that we're just kind of wasting too much energy on it. I mean, we can have all the conversations in the world about it, but it just seems that everyone is shifting, and I know that I've said a lot of things, and there's a lot more things to say, and there are a lot more people to reach out there, and I do understand that, but maybe it's just that I'm the right person for the messages that I try to speak, not only on behalf of myself, but uh, try to represent black men as best as I possibly can when I come to this platform. Sometimes I can, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I can get a little bit, you know, out of my cool, but that's pretty much anyone. I mean, that's natural. I wouldn't expect anyone to just have a perfect record when coming onto platforms to speak to people. I mean, because we're not perfect ourselves in everything that we say. I mean, there's just not. It's not possible to be right about everything. It's not possible. But it is possible, however, to be right about some things. The old saying, broken clock is right twice a day. Uh, kind of person I am is like, fuck that broken clock, but you know what? Facts are facts. No matter how I may feel about it personally, as a black man, I cannot beat a fact. And not everyone feels the same way. You can't debate successfully against a fact. And that's where a lot of confusions and miscommunications come in, and a lot of these breakdowns. No pun intended. And as I begin to think and as I begin to observe more, is why do I care so much about this the state of people's thinking and conditioning as far as these topics and these matters at hand that we are facing in this space and our sphere of influence. You know, from what I'm gathering is that black men are being rejected from the narrative. As we integrate more and are able to get our messages out more and more, we are being rejected. Why we're being rejected? Because that's the conditioning. Some of it's malicious, but we got to understand that most of this is just comes from conditioning. Any attempts to reverse the conditioning is met by resistance from those who want to keep it in place. A lot of our deals these days as black men is, and I try not to join the crowd so much in their beliefs and their thinking, which become eventually a defeated way of thinking. A lot of black men are starting to believe that this conditioning is so overwhelming as to the point of why should we continue to put up a resistance against it without, factoring in everything that is involved with this conditioning. Number one, it ain't been too many years where black men have been saying anything because the previous generations, I would say, the boomer generation and a lot of Gen Xers, my group, we let the media, the surface media, the mainstream media, and in our everyday lives, we let them get away with saying whatever they wanted to say. At one point, black men weren't saying too much of anything, and it just became the norm. It's just fact. Instead of black men saying, "Hey, you know what? Let me give my son a sense of pride and let him know that it ain't that bad for us out there." It's nothing how they are saying. Is a bunch of these people are just lying about us. No, they didn't spend time doing that. No, what they did was they sat on their asses and told us as younger black boys not to say anything, not to worry about it, alpha your way through it. Seriously, this is what happened. Now, this could be a very effective way of thinking because, to tell you the truth, a lot of what they were saying is kind of correct. I mean, we are taught, sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt us, which is cool, cool philosophy to go by, especially when you're growing up and you have other kids from other backgrounds who have a tendency to try to bully certain random children. Sometimes that child may be you. But an overall outlook of you from the culture itself, to be seen in a negative light, maybe it was a little necessary for a black man to say something every now and again. Now, they bring up that talk show era all the time. But here's what I can remember about that. There were black men that were speaking against that stuff on those very talk shows. What we would refer to in, we got to go to the pharmacy with this one, what we would refer to as red pill. There were men that were speaking, some, there were very few of them. But those guys were always dismissed as crazy and sexist and what's that word they use today? I mean, they didn't use it too much back then. I think it's a more recent term, misogynistic. Hmm. This has been going on forever. What I'm trying to say is it really isn't anything wrong with black men coming up here to speak their piece and speak our grievances and uh, try to make the masses understand that we have a we have a our side to this. But I don't know, for the collective of men that are doing this right now, it probably a few years too late. Now, say if there was a such thing as a manosphere back during the talk show era, a lot of things could have been prevented. Now you have a bunch of people that are in the younger generations that flat out just don't give a fuck and just saying, hey, you know what? We are about to give up on this black thing. You got the guys in the older generation now pointing the fingers at each other, saying, no, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Because that's really all it is. When we have all this infighting amongst black men, it's like older ones pointing the finger, and the younger ones not giving a fuck. What I'm saying is just that let's just go ahead and I'm gonna revisit some conversations. When as this channel progresses that I've had before, I'm gonna revisit some because they need to be revisited. Because when you have a growing audience, you always have new people coming in and our people. I love our people, but our people need to be constantly reminded because this is why we're here today. There are a lot of black men who don't have any answers to any of these questions. It's like someone said on my panel last night. They ask questions, but they never can get the answers to. That's because of this, and it's not our fault. There's a lot of guys that are new to it. That's because men just started speaking, and there's really no. We're trying to get it organized, but it's being met with some growing pains. Excuse me, because of sort of the lack of structure in the past. Now we're trying to get some structure going, and maybe we can get some kind of effective plan to get these narratives out here, or to counter these narratives, or to leave the narratives alone altogether and focus on like a lot of these men are now saying self improvement. Yeah, I mean, me, I've always said that, the relationship conversation, that is an okay one to have if there's an audience for it. So it myths me, as to why there are grown men complaining about grown men talking about it when we as grown men have always talked about it amongst each other. Our relationship woes. They're just being put out in front at this point. I know because I've hung out with many different sets of men, and all of us have always talked about our dealings with women. And it's kind of weird to me that when we have these conversations within the manosphere, then everybody finds it all weird and all like, oh my God, why are these men talking about it again? Oh, I'm so tired of hearing about this. I mean, maybe you're tired of hearing about it because it's all you hear about in your real life. You know, why are we acting like this is a new conversation that men are having? Their relationship conversations. Hell, even when we talk, even when men talk about their exploits with women, which happens very often. It's the same fucking thing. You know, some men talk about it one way, some men talk about it another way, but it had always existed. It has existed in barbershops, in circle of friends sitting around drinking a beer, playing pool. Always like always discussing dealings with women. Sometimes stock options may come into the conversation, or what's happening in the news, or what's happening in Celebrityville, or hey, what we all did for recreation last weekend. But our dealings with women always come in, especially as a single guy. Dude might hey, bring up, man, what happened with Big Booty Brenda last weekend, and especially if dude smash, he might brag about it to his friends. I'm not sitting up here talking about, hey, dudes talk just like women. Nah, dudes talk. It ain't just like women just because you're using your voice and using words and using your mouthpiece. People talk. That's why it's so weird to me. Every time I come to this platform and there's a bunch of men complaining about what men are talking about, especially within the relationship conversation, because these conversations are regular as fuck. Shit, even among the pookerized guys, they be fucking the hoes. That's what we got to hear from them. Man, we be fucking the hoes, man. She was in the car, man, and she bent over and blah 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 and all this. Like you hear that from them motherfuckers. They don't necessarily openly talk about it like that, but I've been in enough circles to know this. Not lately. I'm older now, but I seriously doubt much has changed. Can we say that outside of these circles on the internet that we are really about what we say we are? No, all of you act like fucking actors. You act like that you're not having certain conversations for real. Now I do understand a lot of these guys bring their problems, and and a lot of these guys bring these problems here because they have nowhere else to go to talk about them. And I get it; it gets tiresome. Normally I don't come to conversations to be depressed, so I get it. I mean, shit. Sometimes these motherfuckers come to these platforms to get away from what's depressing them, and then they got to hear somebody coming up here. Woe is me. Oh my God, this is what happened, and it destroyed my life, and blah blah blah, and everything. I love to help out people like that. I would, I would love to tell this person that everything is going to be okay. I know life isn't fair and everything, but it doesn't. And I get it. It doesn't have to be every fucking conversation. It not every conversation, and I don't and I don't rail against venting. I don't. Black men need to vent. If you're a black man in this country, vent away. Vent away. But for your own people to constantly sit up here and say you don't have the right to vent, you're just whining. After everything you've been through in this country as a collective, why do we still give a fuck about our people? Because we're supposed to lead? How do you lead those who won't follow? Question of a lifetime. How do you lead those who won't follow? So here's the answer: you don't. If they're on the train track and you're sitting up here screaming, that train is coming, get off the damn track. But they're screaming back, fuck you, Dusty, you don't know what you're talking about. Turn your back and walk the fuck away. You ain't gotta sit there and waste your time screaming at that person. Hey, get off the track, bitch. Get off the track. You see that train right there? If you get off that track, I'll build you a house. I ain't got time to waste like that. Now, if it's a child, shit, I'll dash for that motherfucker and get them out and get them off the track. Children get scared and freeze up, but an adult. What I'm just saying is, adults should know better. Adults have common sense, unless they're tied to the track. Hopefully, you got something sharp. But I mean, outside of that, if I'm screaming at you to get off the track, that means that you are fully capable of jumping off that motherfucker. In the process of that decision making, you have decided to use common sense, which is an adult response in your environment. You know, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Shit. Just use some common goddamn sense. I'm here. I will do everything I can. Well, I can't make you do anything, you know? Why should we care? After everything, why should a black man care? I mean, I could sit up here and say all day, because we do not give up, because we need to persevere like we have always done. You can choose to care. I mean, that choice is pretty easy. For me, at least. I do care about my people. So, I mean, if you're in this space, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Black men have been catching it. We've been catching it hard. And the way some of us are behaving, I mean, it's really giving the other side firepower. It's giving them validity to what's being said about black men. So, I mean, I did a broadcast last night. Maybe the women aren't the problem after all. Because, in order to be a problem in today's society, you have to be a truth teller. You have to be one that seeks uh, knowledge and, seek correction to problems that have been plaguing us as a culture of people. When you do that, you are a threat to the dominating society. Bottom line, meaning that if we were ever able to accomplish our goal and get all of our people in tow, it is a threat to their bottom line. They wouldn't be able to get us to do what they wanted us to do. And that's the last thing they want, the dominant culture, I would say. So we foolishly fall by the wayside. So here's my question: is everybody right when they say black men shouldn't care and focus on self? Especially if you're not married. I would even say focus on self. Look at ways to earn as much money and as much wealth as you can, and enjoy life. Because the way it's set up for you, especially in Western culture, it's set up for you to fail. You have to actually find ways to succeed, and you will be better off for it because when you do have when it is set up for you to be difficult, it makes you try even harder to make something work, which will definitely lead to some definites, which will lead to you having the formula for success because you've had to fail so many times to get to it. Turn a disadvantage into an advantage, I would say. All right, if people walk in, I do remind you to please hit that like button. Likes are for free, by the way. And I know that there's a lot of, I mean, for many of you, there's a lot of liked videos in your YouTube account. Some like videos you actually like to go back to, but everybody keep asking you to press like on their video. But I'm asking you to do it one more time. So you know, so are they right about black men? A lot of the flagrant stuff, I would say no. A lot of the ridiculous stuff, I would say no. But as far as saying that black men we need to get our shit together, they are right about that. We do need to get our shit together. And there's nothing wrong with a black man telling another black man that. Now, if you're a black mom and your son is a piece of shit, I wouldn't suggest you come to the internet going around telling everybody that black men need to get our shit together. Even though you may be somewhat correct, it's just the messenger. It looks pretty bad at the time. Kind of like a crackhead telling people not to smoke cigarettes because it's unhealthy. I mean, just think about that. You know, but yeah, I would say black men could improve. That we don't need to be too proud to admit that. And we've had plenty of conversations with black men about this. But certain things such as your own personal image. At least appear in public. Dress good, smelling good. Clothes look like they're ironed and stuff. Like the things that I don't do. Smell good, present yourself, behave a certain way. You know, be ready for whatever is the world throws at you. Um, you know, Deal with the law and the police a certain way because you know how they like to deal with us, and it's always a plus to do things that will help you live through the experience. I would say, is that everything doesn't always have to be a fight. Pick your battles because you never know that there may be something that's happening that may give you the advantage if you just pay attention. So there's nothing wrong with telling black men that, hey, you know what, we need to get our shit together. But here's one thing. Here's one big problem that I have with black men as a collective: our unity. Not to say that every black man has to think the same, and we're damn sure not going to make excuses for each other when we fuck up, because that's not the point of any of this.
You know, I don't feel like someone who is trying to be your friend or at least trying to give you good advice would want you to go out there and fuck up or make excuses when you do fuck up. We do see a lot of this from, I would say, females, of course. You girls kind of do make excuses for, the horrible behavior of other females. But, excuse me, the whole point of me telling black men that we can't turn around and do that same thing is because I feel as men we should strive to be better. We should always strive to be better and make the more sound decisions. We are a being of emotion, but when it comes to decision making, those decisions should not be based in emotion. They should be based in logic because that's what's going to get us through that shit. If you base something on emotion, you may not get through it. Say, for instance, if you were dealing with cops, especially if they were a different ethnicity, and you start doing stupid shit. Say, for instance, like he tells you to get out of the car. You put your hands up, but you decide for some reason you're gonna reach for that knife in your right pocket. I'm just reaching for this knife. They will put holes in you with bullets, and you might not have been a danger, but seeing how their track record is with dealing with black men with weapons, it would be a pretty stupid thing to do. So it can't be anything wrong with tell a black man telling another black man not to do anything stupid that's going to get yourself killed. Like going through a neighborhood full of drug dealers and gang members with about three stacks in each hand. Doing the money phone. That's not a very sound decision. There's nothing wrong with a black man telling another black man to tighten up. It isn't. A lot of black men don't like to hear black men saying this kind of thing. And I get that. You know, because there are men out there who already have their shit together. There are plenty of black men out here, statistically, that are taking care of their children. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you try to disrespect black dads, statistically speaking, we do pretty good with that. You know, if your child's father isn't around, somewhere in that scenario is a decision that you made. So, anyway, let me look at some of these comments. All right. So we got Robert Nelson. Said, I know this is off topic, but one of Malcolm X's daughter was found dead. Back as a so called black man. I can't speak for all black men, but a lot of us just want to serve God and love our family. Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, I just looked at something. As I was talking, I just looked at something. So, yeah, one of Malcolm X's daughter was found dead. So, rest in peace to her. Really, really sorry to hear that. That would be another one of his kids because one of his son was killed in Mexico a few years back. Yeah, so I don't know, might be something to that. But I mean, we know how YouTube feels about conspiracy theories. So Let me look that up real quick, just so we can have something like that acknowledged here on this channel. So, shout out to Phil Brad. I see you down there. Uh, see Raining Woman. I see you down there too. So, just Malcolm X daughter. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here's the headline. Share the screen real quick. What's going on, infantry skills? I see you down there. Yeah, Malcolm X's daughter, Malika Shabazz, found dead in her Brooklyn home. Police officials. Uh, wow. Let's read this story. Let's see. Oh well, let me look at this picture. Malika is the one in the blue with the Malcolm X pin on her shoulder, on the left shoulder. Says Malika Shabazz, daughter of civil rights activist Malcolm X, was found dead inside her Brooklyn home Monday evening, according to two senior police officials. The 56-year-old Shabazz was found unconscious and unresponsive inside her home on East 28th Street in Midwood just before 4:30 p.m. The police officials told NBC New York. She was later pronounced dead. The city's medical examiner responded to the scene and said the incident was not deemed suspicious. A cause of death has yet to be determined. Yeah, man, damn. So they said nothing suspicious happened, which, that rules out murder. Could be natural causes, but we're dealing with a media that could say anything. But definitely, my condolences to the Shabazz family. The estate of Malcolm X. Just a real sad thing. When with any loss of life. Yeah. So, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Phil Brad, apathy is our universal weakness. Hmm. When I say not caring, I'm not saying don't be apathetic. I mean, especially when you have children. I mean, for some of us who don't have children, or have estranged relationships with the, if we do have children, with the other person that is involved in that, it will be pretty easy to say stuff like, F them kids and focus on self, and you don't have to be vested in the community or whatever. It's yeah, like I said, apathy can be a very bad thing for blacks, and that's a lot of apathy, believe it or not, really does just come from fear. Because when you start to care, then that means that you have to start worrying, and you have to admit and realize that there are some things that are wrong. And a lot of people say that's called focusing on the negativity. You are Winston Toker, he said, what didn't we do now? Man, let me tell you something, man. If you've been observing this space, Winston, uh, if you've been observing this space, man, there's a lot of fracturing in the space right now. A lot of infighting. It's like a big old family feud. The Manosphere is just one big weird family, and I don't know. Is it becoming like this with this channel? It's kind of like I'm kind of like being like the frustrated uncle or some shit like that. That's like, damn, you kids are at it again. Is it really becoming like that? I mean, okay, but this is who I am. You know, this is who I am. I would rather not see guys fighting than to see guys fighting. I mean, it does make for great comedy at times, but when it starts to get to a level where it's doxing and threatening and each other, and fuck nigga this and bitch nigga that, then it's kind of a bad thing. I mean, and yeah, I see you use the word therapy down there. I mean, shit. I'm against the concept of a coping space. I really am, because then you run the risk of trauma bonding with people, and then it's like then it just becomes an environment full of excuses, and just a bunch of bitching and moaning, and it doesn't look good, male or female. But as far as kind of a free therapy session, I would say, the chance to vent a little bit, I would, by all means, yeah, I would be in full support of that. You know, one thing that I realized, like when I created that Facebook group, and there was a lot of back and forth and gender bashing and everything, is a lot of those people, they did that to as therapy because there were many difficulties within their lives. Like the irony of that is that they made fun of each other and they gaslit each other, saying that's what y'all niggas do. Y'all niggas need therapy. Y'all bitches need therapy. Blah blah blah. But to tell you the truth, they came to the group to ease their difficulties in their lives. And I used to get mad with a lot of them. And there was someone that made me kind of realize that through a group chat conversation. Now, that person is kind of a content creator, and it is, if I mention who this person was, you would be like, oh, it's that motherfucker right there? What the fuck? You know, I mean, a lot of y'all don't like this person, but it was like a couple years, 3 years back. I used to communicate with this person, and this person, kind of brought me to that realization that this is why a lot of people come to these platforms to do that. To say the things that they say, because it really is that a lot of people, a lot of people I see you down there, Winston, do try to come there to ease their frustrations. Now, Winston say, no, I'm talking about actual therapy, inner work. Now, I have talked to a couple of people that have gone to actual therapy, and they say that they did it to, help them improve their mindset. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a believer of strength from within, and I'm not criticizing anyone that goes to therapy, because therapy can actually help. There are some people that are educated and certified in helping you professionally. And let me tell y'all the truth. A lot of these, people would say barbershop conversations that us men have is good therapy for some, but a lot of us do need that professional help. Blade Bright, oh no, not y'all again. The lost idiots of Israel. Well, I mean, I'm the only idiot that's here unless you're talking about people in the chat. So, thanks for coming by once again, Blade Bright. And don't time that person out. Let them speak. I like for people to expose their viewpoints. It's just when you do stuff like that, it gives legitimacy to the kind of things that I say and others say. So that's why it's so weird to me when you come to black men platforms to complain about what we're saying when there's 50, 1100 million complaining ass bitching broadcasts that does nothing but disparage black men. So I think that's weird. You think that the little bit that black men do is weird. So I guess we're even, or I'm just completely fucking right. So let type away down there, type away. No, I mean you may be joking, but I was just serious, and we'll stand on everything I just said. But nonetheless, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and I'm being serious about that, not joking. And that goes for all of you. And if you haven't, just go ahead and hit that like button. Said the Bible's legit. Okay, a lot of people do believe that the Bible is legit, and one of those people being my habitual Lions Temple brother Roger of the Roger Report. See him Monday through Friday mornings. So shoot. So Winston Toku, he said it's done wonders for me. I definitely agree with you. Some people use the mention of it as an insult. Yeah, yeah. Is when I hear like I don't know, I would say one of these bitters, and we all have our views on what a bitter is, and you can assume that I'm talking about a female when I do say bitter, but it's whatever. Yeah, when one of these bitters say that you niggas need to go get therapy, they're being very smug. They're not serious. If you hung yourself in the middle of a room, they would joke on you about it. They would roast you. They wouldn't care how sad your family was at the loss of their loved one. They would shit all over you. They wouldn't say anything like they wouldn't say anything like, oh man, black man, you need to approach your mental health seriously. Now, I do believe that. Kev believes that the mental health of black men need to be taken a little bit more seriously. Now, if it's at a level to where you can take care of it, then by all means take care of it. Don't neglect yourself. If you neglect yourself, how can you expect any other people, anybody else to care for you? You know, if you don't love, kind of like we say, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect anybody else to love you? That kind of like that. So if like Winston said, he said it's done wonders for him. Now, don't feel ashamed if that's something that you have to go do, and don't let people make you ashamed because it's your life. And keep this in mind: no one really wants to see you succeed. I know that sounds pretty fucked up, but hey, that's it is what it is. It is what it is. Kristen Minaj, what's going on? Thanks for coming by once again. Yeah, brother, R.I.P. Yeah, I was sad to hear that because I mean, you don't want to hear someone who come to this space, has been a supporter of this space. I mean, that guy definitely he supported he used to visit this channel and he's hit me with super chats, and I remember the love and support he showed me growing as a channel. So it's always good to remember the ones who are no longer here every now and again, and just to reflect on what impact like a person like him made in me continuing to make this channel the best channel I can make it. So RIP Force Windu. So yeah, but by all means, black man, do not. Despite what people say, and we do let a lot of our people psych us out. You know, we do let a lot of our people, try to, talk us out of our best game. No pun intended. If you need someone to talk to, even. I'll probably start putting my email in the description. I'm not a certified therapist or anything, but it's just I'll do my best. I mean, I'm because I believe that I'm on this platform for a greater purpose. We can have all these conversations where we talk shit, shoot the shit, have fun conversations. I love to laugh. I think laughing is one of the best therapies. But if I can help in any small way, just whatever's within my power, I'll try to do. What I'm saying. Y'all listen to me, shit. Maybe I can offer up and say, hey, if you need somebody, I'm here for. I got an ear to listen. So hey, but don't shun good ideas. Don't shun good ideas. Having back and forth with people that they will call out what's wrong with black men, but you know they won't point out the fact that, and this is gonna sound a little soft, but black men have feelings too. The word feelings is used to shame us. We got feelings. I mean, if feelings is such a soft word, I get that. And I mean, you can sing sad songs with the word like feelings. Like, oh, my feelings. Oh, my God. Everything is just gloom and doom, my feelings. You can say stuff like that, but it doesn't erase the fact that, the fact is that black men are human and we have feelings. And those feelings are often disregarded because we are treated like we are supposed to be emotional stiffs, I would say. That nothing is supposed to hurt us, that we're the toughest motherfuckers in the world. But you have to understand, yeah, even if you are a full grown black man that is about about that life, at one point in your life you weren't like that. At one point you were a defenseless child. And depending on the level of parent that you had, that would really depend on how many issues, whether there's like you have one or two issues or many issues that you have. And a lot of people don't consider the long lasting effects that could have. That's why we always stress the importance of good parenting. You know, I couldn't live with myself if I was a shitty parent. I'll tell you one thing: my child smiles more than she frowns, and I'm talking about like that's 99.9% of her facial expression. Unless of course she something got her attention, like her favorite cartoon or something like that. But I understand that my actions and what I teach her and her behaviors, I mean, the behaviors that I display that she's observing, is going to have a lasting effect on her. And, this is for the people with sons too. You are doing things on a daily basis that is going to have a lasting effect on your children. A lot of these dudes, they grew up into troubled adults because they had dumbass parents that did a lot of things that had a lasting effect on them. And when they went out into that world, they didn't know how to deal with dummies that were on the outside because they had dumbass parents that didn't equip them for life. And like I said, if shit for my kid, I couldn't live with myself if my child grew up to be a bitter ass woman. I mean, at least I would have to understand that I did everything in my power to make sure that didn't happen. So if she does become bitter when she grows up, I would love for people to understand that I had nothing to do with that shit, you know. But when I do look at people who are bitter that spew that garbage online, I have to look at their dads at some point because I'm a father. I used to tell bitters all the time, you must have had a weak ass daddy. And you know, black fathers don't. I'm really careful when I say that because black fathers don't have that respectful reputation. We don't. You know, we're not looked at as some kind of beacon in the black community because so many have decided that, hey, let's have some unprotected sexual fun and not consider what happens afterwards. But statistically speaking, we do pretty good as fathers, whether you want to believe it or not. But talking about the facts in the situation, you know, it's cool, but we have to talk about the overall narrative. And the overall narrative is that, and everywhere you go, is that black fathers aren't there for their children. And we know common sense would say that, you know what, if you're in a situation where, hey, you know what, the reason why your kid's black father isn't there is because he's with his other kid, with his other baby mama. You know, a lot of y'all ain't gonna say that. So the best thing for me is to advise young men, not to just go around making a baby with everyone. It's up to them to listen. But if you're just gonna act like you're all like seducing the guy and all this other shit, it's out of my hands pretty much. So I'm left with expecting adults to be responsible adults. That's what I'm left with. Miss Recently overheard a senior age woman still complaining about her father. I mean, like everybody ain't have a perfect dad, at the same time. But it's like one thing that I've started to realize about a lot of these older women that do complain about their father. If you really closely listen, that shit sound like feminist jargon. Like for real, I talked to this old lady one time that was mad that her grandfather cheated on her grandmother. But like, the kind of man that she was describing was a man that pretty much owned several businesses and made sure that his family was completely okay. I even asked her, was he abusive toward her? Did he beat her? She was like, no. And my biggest question is, when a person cheats, well, did she decide to stay? And then she was like, yeah, she stayed. But what, he still cheated? Now I'm like, no, 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 no. Stop right there. If she decided to stay, then hey, you can't say a goddamn thing about it. Why are you sitting up here mad? Those people are long dead. And of course, it was, of course, a couple minutes later, the conversation ended. Well, God bless you. God bless you. I was like, okay, all right, God bless me. But I'm telling you, it's like this. If your grandmother decided to stay with your grandfather, he wasn't beating her, and he cheated on her with this woman or whatever, and he owned several businesses, and he took care of his family, you really shouldn't have shit to say about it. Dude wasn't perfect, but he took care of what needed to be taken care of. Men aren't appreciated. Period. I get it. A lot of men are appreciated, but a lot of men aren't. Like they could be the rock in everybody's life and they still don't get the appreciation that's due them. I mean, they do everything. This is why you got a lot of these guys going around here saying, man, fuck that. I'm going to keep my resources. Fuck all that dumb shit. Because they have been observant to that kind of mentality. There are plenty of women that speak like that. That speak like the patriarchal side of their families were just so bad. Now, like I would say back in the olden days, as they say, that yeah, men were very assertive back then. If they took, especially if they took care of everything, they read their paper and everybody like, look, dinner better be on the table and you better shut the fuck up. Shoot, but that's usually the man that was taking care of everything. But who is there? Why the complaining? I mean, he stepped outside a couple times. So what? And I get it when women hear me talk like this. Men don't understand. Men don't understand. No, no, no. Women, I understand completely. Women don't understand. Now, am I to say that it is a right thing? No, I'm not. Did he do what? Was he right in cheating on his wife? No, he wasn't. But he was cheating, but he was taking care of everything. Or maybe he cheated and stopped. She never specified. All she said was he cheated on my grandmother. And then me being like tired of hearing the shit, I was like, so the fuck what? Shoot. I didn't care. I mean, it's like, shit, like, whatever, whatever. Now, the point of me even saying all that is men aren't very appreciated. We always pulling out the negative. Men are treated like we're just supposed to be men, which, there's nothing completely wrong with that. But, watch who's setting that standard for you. Said you can't take that seriously because we don't have the power to enforce it. Power. What do you mean power? The only power that I see out here is the power of human choice. I mean, if you're talking about the use of power as to make someone act against their will just to get what you want, then that's pretty evil and creepy and shit like that. The whole point to me is to be able to convince people that what you want them to do is the right thing to do. That may seem a bit manipulative, but I mean, we use that word power so loosely. BR454, what's going on? Christopher Nas, 240,000. What are you talking about? That that's one of my gold subscriber counts. If that's what you're talking about, 240,000. What could I do with a 240,000 subscriber count? But that's one of the dreams. you know. So for a claim that might seem ridiculous to some, y'all help me get to 240,000 subscribers. Shoot. The irony is women cheat more than men. Shoot, possibly. We were always raised with the notion that women were innocent and they didn't do anything like bad, and that they were always like the more sensible, more innocent ones, and that really is not the case. Like, we hear that as far as how we discuss sex versus how women discuss sex. I can tell you that women are far freakier in what they discuss in as far as sex than we do. Say for instance, if you last a minute and a half when you finally get the pussy, I guarantee you that her closest friends know that you are a 1.5 minute man. So that does that. That is a that like that gives heed to the statement. So Biora454 is sad, Kev. I'm in a women's only group on FB, and they tell all they biz, married and cheating, got kids, and the man they with ain't the daddy, but he cares for them. And yeah, yeah, this I guess it was like exactly what I said, except for what you said was making it sound a lot worse. Yeah, that's like when they believe that it's just them, they say anything. Not to say that I've eavesdropped on conversations. Let's just say I was kind of in the area, and I guess they thought I was the dumb, quiet motherfucker. But hey, you know what? That's where I know a little bit about manipulation, but I know quite a few things. Like you guys, like some of you guys that are angry because things didn't turn out good for you and a female. That's why you're not up on game like they are. Women are very quick on the draw. They know who they want to fuck when they meet them. You know, me being experienced with women, I've known this several times to be the case. You know, where a female would tell me, you know, when I first saw you, you look like somebody I could hook up with. They know, brother, they know. So, like, a giveaway is if she gives you the number, but she keeps giving you the runaround, meaning that she gave you a chance to do whatever you needed to do, but if you are not finding success after you got the number, that is a giveaway. Guess what? Because she's already getting dick from somewhere else. Bro, you have to understand you are not the best option to her. And, you know, that's why they end up the way they do. Shoot. Yep. I think Kristen Minaj, for some reason, agrees. She goes by the last name of Minaj. So, so that's pretty obvious. Mr. Mister, that's fucked up. You can't even trust your own woman to keep your business to herself. Yet trust is an essential part of a healthy relationship. No, them trusting you is an essential part. You cannot trust them all day. They'll deem that as non-existent. I mean, but you have to really go through great pains to, you know, you really have to go through great pains to find out about them. Like they'll shame you for brotherhood. They'll shame you for brotherhood. They'll call it a circle jerk. You know, you know how that is. Like especially in my Facebook group. Like in my Facebook group, I notice when guys start getting along, there's always going to be that one or two females that's going to say, "Oh man, it's turning into a circle jerk." I said, so men giving men recognition is a circle jerk. But dude, like they literally, well, not literally, they really act like they're having carpet munching sessions. They literally act like that whenever it comes to them and how loyal they are to each other. But I mean, I kind of knew it was like that anyway. Especially like, you know, I've been in groups where it was predominantly black females, and you know it'll be one of them white boy admiration groups. They'll talk all like, and I've seen it a million times. Like I'll see certain profiles, they'll talk all that shit in black groups, but be over in them white groups supporting them. Which is neither here nor there. And you know, and let me tell y'all the truth. You might as well just go ahead and let them do what they want to do, because if they feel that in their heart, there's nothing you can do to stop that. You can do all the convincing in the world. Please, please act right. Please act right. They'll laugh at you. They will. They're all gonna laugh at you. But if I found out like my woman, my wife or whatever was in any of these groups, which she isn't, giving away all our secrets, then I feel like our marriage would be in trouble. So men, you better be king dangaling, and even if you are king dangaling, she gonna find something wrong. That's a way to keep you under her thumb, keep you in that inferior position. Cause guess what, guys? Feminism. seriously, seriously, feminism, female supremacy. They use what they got to get what they want. Because let me put it to you like this, man. You have the gift of overwhelming physical strength as it compares to them. Now, biologically, they're resentful for that. So they have to use other things in order to capitalize on advantages. Let me give some examples. They can use something like boobies. Yes, boobies. They can use boobies. You know, they can use their, you know, fantastic vaginas. They can twerk. They can smile. They can bat their eyes. They can become very alluring. While we have our little old measly stank physical strength. So it's gonna be very difficult out there for you as it compares to them, and you understand that with power comes powerlessness, if that makes any sense. But this broadcast has gone on for quite some time. Okay, it just feels like I'm just talking to you guys and monologuing. Which, hey, you know what? That's great because talking to you guys is fun. Believe it or not. Yeah, but yeah, man, black man. Let me just put it to you like this. Here's why you shouldn't care. Seriously, because our solidarity sucks. You have while y'all saying a lot of you out while a lot of you out there saying that the females hate you, that they want Pookie and they want Zaddy and they want everybody except you, which by the way is a bad look. I wouldn't go around like I used to be like that, but that was before I realized how cool I was. And that was like years and years ago. Some of y'all that listen, y'all 23 and 24, I'm twice your age. I went through quite several stages in, my social development. And one of those for a small period was pointing the finger, displaying incel like behavior. She want this nigga, she want that nigga. And I felt like I was saying it on some legitimacy because I was referred to as one of those I would say Will Smith guys at one point. You're too nice. You're so courteous. You'll find somebody one day. You sure will. So I started in on that, and this was back in the 2000s, like the early 2000s. The motherfucker they want Pookie. That's why y'all be getting pregnant. But here's the thing that I eventually figured out, and this is what you guys need to figure out too. Thank God they went that route. Because once I started to observe more and more, a lot of these women that said this were kind of crazy. And how you should look at it is, hey, that bitch, she's not bothering me anymore. Is an opportunity for a real lady to come in. See, this is how I want younger black men to approach rejection. I want them to approach rejection as an opportunity for something great to happen. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're patient, something great will happen, which nullifies the excuse to come up here complaining about women all the time. Because if you're doing that, then that means that a lot of these problems might actually be your own. It ain't the fact that she picks Pookie. Is the fact that you weren't compelling enough to convince her that you're the cooler guy, that you're the top choice. Some of them you can't help. They're going to go and make those bad decisions anyway and become a baby mama. But those are the ones that you clearly have to let go. And I learned that very early on. Because I used to start hearing things like, okay, so what if you liked her? This woman was fighting at the club the other night. She's a hood rat. You start hearing little things about these people. And then, if you were a believer in, if you were a believer in God and spirituality and being put on a set path, like, I question my existence in the universe these days, but back then, I was like, look, damn, I dodged a bullet with that one. And then, like, before the day my daughter was born, shit, I don't regret anything now. I can't negate anything because if say for instance if I were to change anything before that happened, then it might not have led to her birth. So regrets are now out the window. Shit, the only thing I could do is continue to improve myself so things would be better for her. I know a lot of y'all don't want to go that route, and a lot of y'all don't need to go that route. Having kids. Don't have kids until you're ready. And definitely, I know this is tough, but don't have, and there's no way to tell these things until they happen. Don't have kids with, who you may feel is the wrong person. Just because the booty looks right doesn't mean that she's right. But anyway, I think I'm done. I'm done right now. Shit, I've gone on long enough, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. Um, just black men, there are things you should care about. There really are, but as far as them being right about you, they are going to feel as if they are right whether you like it or not. You can introduce fact, you can introduce statistic, you can introduce anything to prove your point. They will probably likely still reject it. So you shouldn't care. Care about yourself, man. That's all I'm saying. Give nothing that no one is willing to take. Now, okay. Now, this is it. This week is Thanksgiving, so if I don't come to you in a broadcast or some way, shape, or form before then you guys, if you believe in that, because I know a lot of you don't. A lot of you are starting to reject the ideal of holidays and such. But still, a lot of you aren't going to reject a good meal, even if you don't believe in holidays. I mean, shit, all that good smelling food, and you gonna tell me I don't celebrate Thanksgiving? No, you finna grab a plate. Well, I'll just eat it because it's dinner. So definitely, if you do, if you don't, but you're around your family anyway, that's cooking them big meals. If you are a house hopper like I used to be, get stuffed, eat plenty of good food, but most importantly, be careful out there. Um, don't make your bad time be someone else's bad time. This I wish it could be like this year round, but just have a good holiday and be careful. And I will definitely see y'all again sometime this week. So anyway, let me look at some of these comments before I go. Winston Tokisa, what's more important is to find and pursue your purpose slash mission. Definitely. Mr. I always wanted kids, but if I do, I'm going to be a very old father. Never found the right one in my youth. I mean, yeah, I mean, and I agree with that sentiment. Is if you wanted to have kids with the right one, but you never, and that's what I don't get. They always rag on guys that get older that don't have children. I don't get that. Those are the guys that use the condom. If you ain't want kids, use a condom. And then when they don't have kids, you think something's wrong with the guy. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Well, here's the thing: semen and sperm, they pretty much can last for that man's entire life. So, their sperm is able to fertilize an egg as long as that egg is healthy and ready to be fertilized. So, you have literally your entire life to become a dad. Now, here's the thing: you want to be young enough to at least enjoy it a little bit. I had a child pretty late. I think about it. If I had children earlier, I might actually see becoming a grandfather. I mean, I don't foresee that I become a grandfather. If I do become a grandfather, it's going to be a really fat chance at me becoming a great grandfather. But I just want my child to grow up healthy and happy, and be able to use common sense. Make common sense decisions throughout their life. But yeah, hybrid, catastrophic, impact, X83rd power. I'm cooking and eating myself into a stupor. LOL. I'm gonna do some of the cooking, but I'm gonna be around family. My wife. My sister-in-law. I've been a cook. So I'm gonna put something together, maybe make a couple of desserts myself. But yeah, it's gonna be some fun times, man. We're gonna get stuffed, and you know, shit. Saturday is the Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn, and shit. Since I'm from Alabama, that game means a lot to me. Plus, me and my brother-in-law, he's an Alabama fan, and I'm an Auburn fan. So, we play the drinking game. Every time the other team scores, we take a shot. Now, like a couple years ago, when the, when the score was like 49-48 or something like that, man, we was shit faced like a motherfucker. Like, cause we were doing our own drinking besides the taking the shots. Yeah, like those are fun times. So I'm definitely looking forward to this Saturday, and definitely this Thursday, eating all that good food. Uh, let's see. The Bunker TV, what's going on? Said good convo. Brutal. I appreciate you stopping by. Uh, Lavelle Andre, where in Bama? I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery, capital city. I was a couple. I grew up a couple blocks from the Southern Poverty Law Center. The one with the waterfall monument with the quote with Martin Luther King, and the memorial of all the people that died during the civil rights era, the civil rights activists. Yeah, I grew up from that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Mister, Come on, man. Come on, man. Shoot, I should have timed you out for that. I'm just playing, just playing. No, show that spirit. Oh, from Tuskegee. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Turkey Day Classic. I hate that Alabama State University and Tuskegee ultimately could not work it out and keep up the tradition. But I did think it was funny, like the inaugural Turkey Day Classic in the new stadium, Tuskegee beat Alabama State. That shit was funny. But yeah, I attended Alabama State for a couple of years, but then I went down a path of bad decision making. After that, but that's another story for another time. Uh, all right, Lavelle Andre, shit. All right, War Eagle, yeah. Yeah, see, that's a smart person right there. Bunker TV. I'm making the turkey and the pot roast. Men make the meat. Hey man, for yeah, men make the meat. Yeah, I know how to do a good turkey myself, man. You know, somebody gave me a recipe a few years back, and there's been plenty of good Thanksgivings ever since. So, but I think my father-in-law is actually handling the turkey this year. So, yeah, but say I got a 4-month-old younger brother, and I'm 38 years of age. God damn, shit. You know, a lot of babysitting there. You know, babysitting ain't, you know, you have a chance to put that person on game, like serious game. So, you know, just good luck with that, and you know, happy for you, man, for real. You know, babies are fun. They're much fun, especially especially when you are a dad and you know you get to watch them grow up yourself. But you know, that's about sounds like the next best thing. So, all right, yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for me right now. And just like I said, enjoy your enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your college. If you are a college football fan, this is really college football rivalry weekend. So whatever team you're rooting for, good luck. Yeah, and check us out on our entertainment channel, The Black Dimension. We've been myself, the Roger Report, and Donnie from You Ain't Shit for Watching. We've been dropping some things over there. You know, we handle things that are pretty much in the entertainment industry. We do a lot of Marvel stuff over there too. You know, discussing the MCU and such, and you know other things too. So, if definitely if you're into entertainment, pop culture, go to my community tab. We just did a Disney Plus Day broadcast, so you know use that to link up and hit the subscribe button. Yeah, so yeah, let me put this banner down here that we used earlier. The If you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, that's how we spell the channel name. It's called the Black Dimension. Is black spelled Blakk, and yeah, that's the broadcast we did today. That's the ticker we use for it, but I'm just using it to show you how to spell the Black Dimension. Go look for that channel and please sub it and help it grow. So so you know we can be your top choice for entertainment. And also, you know, leave in the comment section, you know, if you have a request for something that you want to see covered, then definitely you know, leave it in the comment section and we do our best to bring it to you. But for right now, as for this channel, this is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Once again, enjoy your holiday. Thanks for tuning in. In Kev we trust. Long live the habitual line steppers. Till next time.